right. How's everyone doing tonight? Pretty good. Awesome. So yes, as you all know, today will be presenting a little bit more about Teatro Visión, specifically in pride in our stories, identities, and community as an overall thing. Um, and actually, I have a little activity, kind of, if you are all up for it. So, one of the ways that we like to start off our meetings, our meetings, our audition process, our just sort of gathering togetherness, I guess you could say, is just by sort of starting off with a grounding activity, if you are all up for it. So what that means is, if you want to stand, feel free to stand. If you want to take a seat, feel free to sit down. But essentially, just get ready, close your eyes, and breathe in and out. One more time, breathe in. Hold it for a second if you're able to, and just sort of hear the noise of the room, of the weight that you bear, and breathe out. And one more time, breathe in all of the positive energy that's in this space right now. Hold it. Think about what you're contributing today, what you've contributed today so far. And breathe out all of the negative energy, all of the worries. We're all in this space together. We're all here together in this love, in this unity. Anything that you have outside of these doors, forget about it for a second. Just ground yourself, feel the air on your face, hear the AC that's going on in the background, be in touch with your heartbeat, even just sort of feel how it's thumping along. And one more time, breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. Slowly and surely open your eyes when you're ready. All right. And I also invite you to take a second and think about one word that, let's say, that's described your day so far. Any word. It could be positive, negative. It could be a sound even. I don't know. But we can start. I'll start and just say, the one word that describes my day so far would be relaxing. Um, if you don't mind, I'll share to you.
Hectic.
Rushed.
Productive.
Fantastic.
Hungry and thirsty.
Messed up.
Busy.
Transformational.
Exemplary.
Math.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for partaking. All right. And
You have two people on Zoom,
yes.
and Fran put peaceful. So we need it. We need more Fran in our lives too. And Michelle said busy.
And a little bit more about me is, as previously mentioned, I am Teatro Vision's Community Engagement and Marketing Manager. I've also, under Creativity's documentary program, I've directed a short documentary called Autonomy, which explores the lives of three queer artists in the Bay Area, Gen Z. So just sort of uplifting their voices as well. And also I've interned and volunteered at BayCat, which addresses racial, gender, and economic inequity by creating powerful, authentic media while diversifying the creative industry. The Latina Coalition of Silicon Valley, which develops, strengthens, and the powers of Latinas to advance our collective success through sisterhood, leadership, and civic engagement. And also the San Jose Public Library Foundation, which supports educational programs and resources through the public libraries, schools, and community-based organizations to create an educated, equitable, empowered, and engaged community. So, a little fun fact about me, I guess. And sorry, do you mind? 2 more slides after that. There we go. I have a question for the audience. Just a show of hands, both here physically and also just curious on Zoom. Before today, have you heard of Teatro Visión? Raise your hand if you have, and leave your hands down if you haven't. Okay. Awesome, awesome. No hands? Okay. Great. Well, all that's gonna change. If you have heard about it, that's great. If you haven't, next slide, please. A little bit of history about Teatro Visión. So, what is Teatro Visión? It was founded in 1984 by Elisa Marina Alvarado, and it is a Chicanx theater company with 4 decades of service to the community. Our work amplifies the voices of Latinx, it creates a dignified and empowering sense of identity, inspires action, and builds respect and understanding, as well as exploring the social and psychological experience of Latinx people. Now the question could also be, well, what is Chicano theater? It's known as the People's Theater, and it was born out of the movement for justice and equality in this country. Its performance, forms, and mission were initially shaped by the renowned Teatro Campesino, which sometimes people get confused. Teatro Visión, Teatro Campesino. We have worked before, and we continue working with the idea of Chicanismo, with theater that calls for social justice while sharing and learning the cultural values that unite all of us. Yes. So the question is also, how does Teatro Visión uphold the ideals of Chicanismo? So one of the things that we do is staging vital cultural works, which includes, when we started with the production of Silvia Gonzalez's El Vagón, which is the boxcar. We've also had productions in Rudolfo Ania's Bless Me Ultima. We're known for Macario, which is our Dia de los Muertos production, as well as the Partera. And we've also recently done No Llegamos Aquí Solos in February. More about that in a second. And another way that we uphold the ideals of Chicanismo. Go ahead and one more back. And then, yeah, cool, thank you. Is we also develop new teatristas. So teatristas are our way of calling people actors. And what we do there is we provide youth classes. So youth ages 10 to 18 are able to be a part of Teatro Visión, learn a little bit more about what it means to be an actor, learn about the social change that even acting can sort of help come across for civic engagement. And we also do workshops and other events as well. For example, we've had Night Shades, which was a poetry reading. And we've had people from all walks of community, of all backgrounds, of all ages, come together and really sort of like share their experiences through moving and powerful words that they've created. And then one other way that we uphold the ideals of Chicanismo, one more, is we also are very committed to community access, which is shown by our choose your own ticket model. So one of the things that we're very proud to commit ourselves in is that sort of community access to bilingual and affordable theater. Our tickets start at $10 and they go up to $40. So if you're able to pay $10, that's completely okay. If you're able to provide a little bit more so that people are able to access our theater, then that's great also. So yeah, we do our choose your own price ticket model. We also have our performances in Spanish with projected translations. So even if you don't speak Spanish, do not worry. We have translations available for you. And we also do themed performances, which more on that in a second. Yes, next slide, please. So another question for the audience, raise hands. Have you attended a theme performance? If so, for what show and what was the theme? Just kind of curious. Theme performance could be like Pride Night. It could be college night, like any sort of like special event, I guess you could call it. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about Rocky Horror, but does that, yeah. Well, I mean, people dress up like characters in Rocky Horror. So, I mean, I've been to a couple of them just around. Like there was one in Stanford at Stanford Theater in Palo Alto.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah, Cheryl, Renee, and I, we all went to Pride Night. We went to No Llegamos Aquí Solos, and that was lots of fun.
So the only thing that I've been to is like retro sing-along performances where much like Rocky Horror, you get into everything, but the entire audience will stand up for every piece, something like Mamma Mia or Grease.
I mean, in other countries, when traveling, I've gone to like cultural dance performances and things like that. In Costa Rica, I remember going to something, and I feel like a few other countries as well, but I don't know about. I've never been to Rocky Horror, but that seems to be the hit.
I've been to the Teatro Campesino in San Juan Bautista when they've done it during the holidays. Part of it, I think part of it the theater, but I think part of it was also in the church, the San Juan Bautista Mission.
It's really pretty in there. Yes. Thank you. So thank you all so much for sharing. I definitely need to hit up some of these shows that you guys talk about. Yeah, no, I remember going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That one is always a bunch of fun, just because like you get to be sort of pulled in my experience, you get to be pulled into the audience to do the time warp. Yeah. But going back to Teatro Visión, so our shows often explore themes of belonging, resilience, and identity, and we aim to ensure that all members of our audience see their experiences reflected on stage. And so, as I mentioned before, our themed performances usually include our college night, our ASL interpreted night, and our Pride night as well. We have a couple of photos, just kind of, yeah. So that was for our recent show, for When She Had Wings, our youth production, and I think that there was also an ASL performance as well. And yeah, and then is that one the content? Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, these are just a little bit of shows that we've done in the past, and then we've also done our Pride Night shows as well. And essentially, a little bit more about like the Pride Night and how it came to be is because we want to support and celebrate our LGBTQ plus LGBTQ plus community and the allies. And our main goal is to create a safe, welcoming, and inclusive space for all, maintaining our core values of diversity, positive cultural identity, and of social justice. Yeah, and so for our theme night performances, we invite our LGBTQIA plus organizations to come see our shows, so community members get to learn more about your organization and other organizations that you're a part of. And then we also have like pre-show talkbacks where we've had artists come up to like the stage and sort of do like a interview, I guess, on stage with our moderators, and even have some like Q&As from the audience to talk more about like their piece, the show, the script, and what it means to have it presented. And it's just, honestly, it's a great place to be in community. Trying to think for like I think we just did one for La Muerte Baila. I think that was my first one, sort of being in the space of Teatro Visión and just seeing how everybody is together and seeing all of the community come together and all of the organizations be able to share and present. And we also have pins and sort of pins of our logo and of like the pride flags and different aspects of it. So I like to say that we like to decorate for Pride Night and, you know, make it a very inclusive and a welcoming space as well. So there's a little like setup there with the pins. And then we also have sometimes we also put up like the flags of the different areas of LGBTQ plus people, sort of like the spectrum of it, I guess you could say. And yeah, I mean, I could talk more about it, but honestly, I think it's better to show it. Or if you are all available this coming October, I can't say much about it, but you'll have a great time. That's all I can promise you. In my unbiased opinion, of course. And then we could go on to the next slide. So, as I mentioned with a previous show called No Llegamos Aquí Solos, there was a queer protagonist, and it wasn't a part of like, oh, they're queer in your face kind of thing. It was more just like it's a part of their identity, you know? And so we had a lot of positive community feedback from it because it's a story about, you know, what it means to be undocumented and queer. And so I think a lot of our community members felt very seen in that representation. And so, yeah, as I mentioned, we got a lot of positive feedback. It was a cute love story to be included, to see our actors sort of act out the lives of queer and undocumented people. Um, yeah, and honestly, I am speechless just thinking about it. And that was for No Llegamos Aquí Solos back in February. And that was one of the things that I like to highlight as well, is that it was a community, it was a script about, to sort of paraphrase, it was for the people, by the people, and written, yeah, written by our community members for our community members. So in that, for No Llegamos Aquí Solos, we had workshops with community members, with organizations to sort of talk about what it means to be undocumented, especially during this turbulent time in our country right now. And when we presented it, there was, I think, honestly, it broke records in terms of our audience numbers. And so it was amazing to see the unity that all of our people showed up and supported and helped spread the word. And so, yeah, that was just one of the shows that I like to highlight. The second show that I like to highlight as well, let me see if I could get through this one, is Becoming Mar. So Becoming Mar tells the story of Mariela, who is a gender expansive young person who's feeling out of place at school, and she finds her way in the in between. So the in between is this land of ancestors inhabited by a colorful cast of characters, and these were our youth as well. So we like to also incorporate youth into our stories, into our cultural, colorful, diverse stories, and they had a lot of fun. I would like to say, and so essentially the whole story is that, you know, she finds her strength in sort of the medicine of ancestral teaching. So that definitely highlights some of our cultural aspects of, you know, the people that came before us, the people that have made us, and hoping to pay it back with who we are currently and who we want to be in the future. And so, yeah, it was just another amazing way of getting to promote sort of this sense of identity and of queerness, especially in understanding who we are as people.
Are most of your performances locally written or versus national productions?
Yeah, so we have a good mix of both. We've had for example, the No Llegamos Aquí Solos, that was very much local, but we've also done adaptations of other works such as Macario, which is a story recognized, I think, nationally. So yeah, we do a mix of local and national works as well. Yeah, so this one is actually from another youth production for called The Transition of Doodle Pequeño by Gabriel Jason Dean. And it's a story of a young boy named Doodle. And Doodle gets together with another group, another mischievous group, of course, to sort of figure out who they are, because in this story they were a couple of bullies in as a part of the story. And, you know, in this sense of when people are growing up who are deemed a little bit different, there are going to be people who try to knock you down. And so Doodle, along with their friends Reno and Valencia, they learn about understanding friendship and the freedom to be who you really are and not to be apologetic or afraid of it. And so the production that we had, like I mentioned, this was a youth production. So we had a young cast who was learning and talking about the importance of the issues raised in the play, like exploring gender identity and defining gender expectations, and as well as like dealing with bullying. And there was also even a little bit of enduring family separation. So it's incredibly important to note that even in our youth actors, we're still instilling that sort of understanding about, you know, the importance of identity, the importance of culture, and of understanding and bringing that all together. And another thing that I also like to highlight with this production is that we also supported organizations that support LGBTQ plus youth to provide information and resources for our audience members that were participating and were watching it. So with that being said, for our Pride Night event, as I mentioned, we invite local LGBTQ plus organizations to come out and get to, you know, share their resources, share what they've learned for our community members who are a part of the process. And, you know, I also like to see that our community members who walk in and they're like, oh, wow, like this is a really nice, like, you know, sometimes they're taken aback by the fact that it is like a Pride Night themed production. And they're like, wow, I wonder what this is. It's so colorful, it's so bright. And then they get to talk to the different organizations like the Rainbow Rotary and like the LGBTQ plus youth space outlet, the gender health clinic, community solutions, the Q corner, and just sort of like learn more about what their community has to offer. And I'd also like to highlight the fact that, you know, sometimes that opens up conversations with their own families and with their own friends to talk about, you know, um, their own gender identity and their own experience being queer, being part of the LGBTQ plus community. And so seeing that sort of highlight conversations in, within families, friends, allies, it's also a very moving thing to see. Yeah, and then there's some more photos from the production. And then one of the things that I like to spotlight is, one of the people that I like to spotlight is Rodrigo Garcia, who is our artistic director. He's an accomplished actor, educator, and translator, and we're very blessed to have him as a part of Teatro Visión, and also recognize that he's a part of Teatro Librije. He directs for them, which is Teatro Librije is a theater company dedicated to the voices of LGBTQ plus Latinx, and he also co-founded Colectivo Ala, which provides a space for the freedom of expression, individual growth, and community building for LGBTQ plus Latinx people. And additionally, I'd also like to highlight that some of our artists are also a part of a group called Monarcas, which is a space for those who identify as transgender to promote respect and inclusivity for all. So within our staff, we have, like I mentioned, just spotlighting Rodrigo Garcia, who does the stuff for Teatro Alebrijes, Colectivo Ala, and our artists also come in from Monarcas. So there's a lot of different resources and a lot of different communities and organizations, just in case you guys are interested in. I could provide more information about that as well. And then just wrapping up here as well. So if you'd like to learn more about Teatro Visión, I invite you to sign up on our newsletter. I'll also be sharing more information about that afterwards. And follow us on our social media pages, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We have the whole lot. And I'd also like to highlight some of our upcoming events. So if you know a teatrista, a youth teatrista, we have our youth technical theater classes, which is meant for ages 13 to 18 to learn about theater magic and to learn practical skills in props, makeup, scenery, and costumes. It's gonna kick off this weekend, so if you're interested, I could provide more information about that. Actually, do you mind going? Yeah. There we go. There you go. Yeah. So we have a bunch of talented artists and professionals ready to, you know, support our youth if they're interested in learning about props, costumes, scenery, makeup, and masks. They will be in great hands and they will learn a lot more. And also, bonus, kind of exclusive, is that the completion of this class does also lead to future exclusive apprenticeships so that they could apply what they've learned into our youth production as well. So essentially they could to learn about all of these wonderful things and then also get some valuable experience working on it firsthand for our youth production. And you can find out more about that on our website, teatrovision.org/classes. And then one more thing that we are also promoting is our auditions for our general season, which is happening in June 20th, on June 20th. And it includes our Dia de los Muertos production as well as our resident artist ensemble. And you can find out more information on that at teatrovision.org/work. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but I think that is all that I am excited to share, and I think that I can share. But yeah, no, feel free to reach out to us, reach out to me. Once again, my name is Italia, and we look forward to seeing the Rainbow Rotary Club and all of its members and all of its friends for our upcoming production in, I think I can announce this, in October. Yes, for our Dia de los Muertos show. Yes.
So resident artist ensembles. So does that mean they audition once and then they become a pool of actors that will be in those productions for the upcoming year?
Yeah, so our resident artist ensemble is actually sort of like, let me see if I could find more information on that one. Yeah, so we are hosting our general auditions for both the it's also a question of time commitment for the Dia de los Muertos production in October, as well as the resident artist ensemble. And for that one, they would essentially get to work with us to devise short performances throughout the season, throughout the year, and also devise sort of some arts education program for schools as well, and facilitate community events and workshops to address other community issues. So on one hand, it will be sort of for the um, October production, but for the resident artist ensemble, that would be like a year long sort of, I don't want to say contract, but sort of, yeah, a year long. Yes, exactly.
One more question. Is it mostly dramatic performances or is it a mixture of musicals and dramatics and spoken word, or what is the format? Because it really is an interesting, beautiful concept for me that it's new.
Yeah, so most of our plays, for our Dia de los Muertos program, it does deal with like certain heavy topics like grief, death, but we do so in a very colorful way. So there is some dramatic, there is some comedy to it. I'm trying to think for what was it? Yeah, for La Muerte Baila, which is translated to the Dead Dance. Um, there is like a lot of themes about, like I mentioned, about grief, but we also have some very fun fourth wall break moments where the audience gets to participate. So we love having that there. There's also some music involved, not necessarily musical where our actors sing for throughout the whole performances, but there is some musical elements to it. For example, for Macario, we had like a soundtrack that goes along with it. We've had our actors also sing. I think Rosa, who played the mom, oh my gosh, her voice, wonderful. She's a soprano, so she just takes you on a whole other field, on a whole other environment. And yeah, and so there's a lot of music throughout the piece. And also La Muerte Baila, we include our musicians as part of the Muertitos, if you don't mind, if you know, yeah. A wonderful cast and a wonderful crew. So yes, I hope that answers your question. There's a lot of drama, there is a lot of comedy, there's a lot of music, and they all blend together quite perfectly, if I do say so myself. Mhm. Yeah.
Without the mic.
Mhm.
Do you do performances at schools ever, or it's too big of a? show?
Yeah. We invite the students from local schools as well as like from South Bay, and even we've had some from the North Bay come up during our student matinees. So we do provide student matinees where they're able to come in like I think like on a Friday at 9 a.m. kind of thing. And so they're able to sort of come in. The teachers, chaperone students are able to come in and watch the performances, but I don't think that we've gone to schools like as a troupe. Yeah, 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 to perform. Yeah. But I think we have done like we do send along study guides, and sometimes I think in the past we've sent teaching artists as a part of like who have worked with the production to sort of go in and give the students like a little more information, a little bit more information about what they can expect going into the performance. But in recent years, we haven't had the opportunity to send our cast and crew to go out there to the schools. Yeah. Although we would like to, unfortunately, yeah, the funding for arts is tough. Yeah.
How are you getting funded?
Well, we love it when our audience members come out and watch us perform. That's one of the, ticket sales are amazing. We also welcome any donations. Every cent counts. We also do a bunch of what's it called? What is it? I'm blanking out on the word.
Fundraising?
Fundraising, yes. Thank you. Yeah, we do our Cinco de Mayo fundraisers. We also do our annual and end of the year Giving Tuesday fundraising campaigns. So, yeah, if you're able to watch our show, that's amazing. We thank you for that. If you're able to donate a little bit to sort of help us keep our choose your own price ticket models available to the public, that's also another way that you can help support us through donations, through showing up, through spreading the word. Even we've had a lot of audience members that come in and it's their first time and they share it with our community, and so through that sort of like word of mouth is also another great way to get people in and get people watching and yeah, enjoy the show.
Where is the show performed actually? The location?
Yeah, so we usually perform at the Mexican Heritage Theater. If you're familiar with it, it's located in East San Jose. It is a big orange building. You cannot miss it. It is beautiful. We usually perform there for our theater performances, for our theater shows. Yeah, so the Mexican Heritage Theater, which is located, I want to say, 1700 Allen Rock Avenue. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes. A fun fact, I actually worked there as well, so I have like that like in the back of my head too. Yeah. Um do you have any more questions? Is it time to do? Yes. Yeah, so hopefully you got to learn a little bit more about Teatro Visión and how we encourage all of our community members to come out and support us. As I mentioned, we often have Pride events, and so if you, I know that we have the Rainbow Rotary on our list of organizations that we'd love to, bring out and get people to know about. If you are a part of any organizations, of any resources, please let me know. We would love to have you guys come out as well. And we also offer for our organizations for like Pride Night or for College Night, we also do like to announce that, we couldn't have done the show without you guys. So if you're able to come out for our Pride Night performances or for any performances, we also offer group tickets. If you come as a part of like volunteer for tabling, for sharing your organization's resources, we're also able to comp you guys tickets. So while you're tabling, it's not free tickets. It's just when you come out and table for your organizations, we say thank you by welcoming you guys into our show and watching it for free, just to show a little bit of gratitude. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Yeah, of course. I could share my contact. Let me see where it is. You are actually, I do have cards. Oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me. But yes, if you have any questions, my name is Italia. I am the marketing manager for Teatro Visión. Thank you. And you can feel free to reach out to us at teatrovision.org, or you can reach out to me by email at italia@teatrovision.org. Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. And I really hope to see you guys at one of our performances. And feel free to share more information. Like I mentioned, our upcoming events are our youth technical theater classes, which kick off this weekend. So yes, please register. We have a few spots available, and we also have our general auditions, and that'll be on June 20th. For more information, feel free to look on our website, teatrovision.org/. I think it's, oh my gosh, is it work with us? Yeah, it's work. teatrovision.org/work. Thank you so much. on to the next slide. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for partaking. All right, and on to the next slide. So as mentioned,